Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I am going to introduce you to the Garden Impressions suite, which is on page 128 of your catalogue, or it starts there. So these are some of the samples that Stampin' Up have done. This is the stamp set, which is Abstract Impressions. There is a set of thinlet dies, which I'll show you in more detail in a minute, that goes with it, and it therefore bundles. Now, these are dies that do not cut any of the stamps out. They just coordinate with the suite. So, yeah, they're those sorts of dies. If you buy them as a bundle, you get 10% off. It's a photopolymer stamp set, which is always good value for money. You get 21 stamps and it's only £24. So they're only just over £1 a stamp, which is amazing. There's 2-step stamping and actually 3-step stamping. So fantastic value. Garden Impressions Designer Series paper, which I will show you in closer detail very shortly. This is part of the buy 3, get your 4th free Designer Series paper offer that is on during July. So that's well worth having a look at. And there are, although it looks terribly flowery, there are some, I knew this was going to happen. I've opened my blind and I have a horrible feeling. Oh no, we're all right. The sun was in, although it's a bright, hot day today. The sun was in when I started filming, but I thought I would pull the blind back. And now the sun's coming out, but it's all right. I think we're all right on camera. That's all right then. So yes, this is one of the Designer Series papers that's on offer. And there are some in here that I think are possible masculine papers. So don't think that this is only girly. There is a cardstock pack that goes with it as ever. And it's Calypso Coral, Melon Mambo and So Saffron. Those are probably girly, and some really lovely metallic ribbons, which I will show you. I don't have the blossom elements. I have opted not to buy those. I don't buy everything. It may seem like I do sometimes, but I don't. So these are the ribbons, and they are gorgeous. They've got a metallic thread running through them. So we've got, oh, what are the colours? That would be useful, wouldn't it, to know what the colours are. The colours are Calypso Coral, Mango Melody, Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, Petal Pink, Powder Pink, Shaded Spruce, Soft Sea Foam, So Saffron and Whisper White. So a lot. And the colours are Powder Pink, I think, and Shaded Spruce. Let me check that. I think it's Powder Pink, but I'm ready to be proved wrong. Petal Pink, I'm wrong, it's Petal Pink. I think it's actually the only Petal Pink ribbon that we've got this year. So, well, Petal Pink's a new colour, so hey. So yes, and Shaded Spruce. So one very feminine colour and one potentially masculine colour. So let's have a look at the papers. I'm going to use this for the card in a moment, which I'm going to put on a So Saffron base. And the reverse is this just texture, and that's the piece that's left. So we've got a floral with, I think, a potentially masculine reverse, or certainly, you know, not feminine. Again, potentially masculine. That is potentially not, you know, it's neither one nor the other. Ditto. That's definitely one that you could do masculine. Potentially. So yeah, and that's definitely one you could do masculine. So a few in there that you could do masculine. I might have to challenge myself. So that is the papers, don't need that one. I'm also going to show you how I put my ink pads together, because I've got my nice new Pacific Point in the new style ink pad. And I thought I would take the opportunity of showing you, it comes really nicely sealed, but showing you how to put it together. So on the back we have this set of labels, which we've got in English, French, German and Japanese. And then there's also this just plain one at the bottom. So the first thing I always do is get my English one. So the, you know, my language one, and that goes right at the front here, like that. And then I find one that's, you know, something I can understand, and Point Pacifique I can just about cope with. And that, just so that if I'm looking at them from the back, I put at the back. If I don't understand the language, it's not the end of the world. But if there is one that's obviously one that I'm going to understand, then that's always good. And then I take the plain one and pop that down so it's upside down. Open up my ink pad, beautiful new ink pad, and then pop that in. There's this little divot here, and that just goes there. So when you've got your ink pad open, you can see what colour it is, because it wouldn't be that easy to distinguish this from a number of other colours. And then you want to take the whole of that label sheet off. Now, if you want to keep the other labels, then that's fine, but you want this off. So you can then keep those labels. I don't keep them. But the reason I say that is because we've got little lumps here and little divots here, and they match up, but there's not much space between them. And if you've got the label on the back, they don't match up quite so nicely. So my colour scheme for the stamping is going to be Pacific Point, Mango Melody and Soft Seafoam. So, first things first, I've got a liner. I've got a piece of Whisper White that is actually just half of my normal larger mat dimensions, as ever on the post below. I've cut this at the same width as my second layer, so this is cut at 5.5 inches wide, and at the moment it's 6 inches. I'm going to pop it on there and then trim it off, but the easiest way to do that is in situ. So I'm just going to lose that for a moment and start with stamping. And I'm going to start with a background, and I'm going to start with Soft Seafoam. And the real plus with that, of course, would be if I had mounted up my stamps for that bit, which I haven't. Excuse me one moment, because I need some stamps for the stalks. Right, okay, let's try that again. I need another B block. So this is a B block, and this is also a B block, and I'm hoping that will fit on there. Just, I'm going to try and remember to say which is which size block. So I'm going to do some stamping off and some full strength. So I'm going to start with the bigger of the two stamps and do that in half strength. So stamp off once. So this will be very, very faint, because Soft Seafoam is not the darkest colour in the world, but that's fine. And then take the infill one and do that in full strength, cover up the mistake I made, and make the same mistake again, but with a different... Okay, fortunately we have an emergency side, so we'll try that again. So we'll stamp once. I'll just not stamp so hard, that's the answer. And then stamp off and stamp again. That's better! Isn't it amazing what happens when you stamp properly? Right, so that's all I need the Soft Seafoam for. Then I don't need those, so then I'm going to pop some flowers on top. So for that I want my Mango Melody, and I'm going to start again by stamping off, and I'm just going to go over the top like that, and then come in with the two-step bit. And this is easier when you don't have a camera in the way, but it is meant to be abstract, so it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up. And there we go. Not perfectly lined up, but works beautifully. Right, okay, so nearly done with the stamping. I've got my Pacific Point, which we've just set up. Now it is a new ink pad, so it's going to be a little stiff to begin with. And I've got the sort of splodge, can't think of what else to call it, but it's a nice splodge. Ink that up, and shall I stamp it off for that? Yes, I think I will. So just at the bottom, stamp that second generation, and then I've got, oh, I should have said these are on C blocks. So B blocks for the leaves, C blocks for the flowers, H block for the stripe, and this is on a G block, and this just has thank you on it, which I am going to pop up here. I'm going to clean it off actually because it's photopolymer and straight out of the box. Sometimes you find that the ink doesn't sit nicely, so what I do in those circumstances is just rub it on the back of my hand or with a white pencil rubber, and that just gives it a bit of a key. That's nicer. And then I'm going to go, should I go down or up? I think I might go, I'm going to go up. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And that is all the stamping I want to do. So I may do some stamping on the inside actually, having said that. So I may just take my soft sea foam, stamp that off, and then take the mango again, Mango Melody even, and stamp that off twice, and then once. I'm just thinking otherwise the inside of my card is terribly plain. So that fills it in nicely. Pop those up there, nicely layered up. Right, okay, time to put it all together. So my So Saffron card base. So it's a half sheet of A4 scored down the middle and folded in half. That goes the other way up. Always a plan to get it the right way up. Right, I want my snail. So that's the bottom. So snail on here. I'm not going to go all the way to the top. I am going to put an extra strip in, and then I'm going to just gauge where I think the top is going to go. And the reason for that is because I'm going to trim the very top off. I don't really want adhesive on the very top, and I want that in the middle. There we go. And my snips. Open that up. So yes, designer series paper, buy 3 get 1 for free, so you get 4 for the price of 3. All the details of that are over on my blog, which is linked immediately below. So go and take a look at that. Let's just pop this in. There is also the fantastic July joining offer. So these are both July only offers. The joining offer for July is your normal £130 of product, but you also get to choose one of the colour families of ink pads. Oh, cat hair. Why wouldn't I expect a cat hair? You also get one of the sets of ink pads, so that's 10 ink pads, which at a bundle price is £63. And you choose whichever one you would like, and you pop it in your starter kit, and it still only costs you £99 delivered. So if we put postage, if we were to add postage on, the total value would be about £200. I cannot believe that you can get all of that for just £99. So my suggestion would be, do not walk, run over to my website, linked immediately below, and join now. Remember, you can only put £130 of product in your starter kit. You can't put £130 in a penny, so it's up to but not over £130. But it can be anything you want, so it can just be all the ink pads, it can be loads of stamps, it can be all of the designer series paper, it can be a big shot, and just add up until you get £130 of product. There you go, one thank you card. So I think that's really pretty. I was really hesitant about this set and I love it. It's just amazing. I'm gonna have such fun with it. So thank you very much indeed for watching. If you want to buy any of the products, just go down below and either go over to my website, which will have all of the details of what I've used there, and a link to my online store. Otherwise, there's a link to my online store. If you go to the second link in the description bar below, click on that and you'll find all my social media and a link to my online store. So really easy. Just pop over there and fill your basket. Thank you very much indeed, and I'll see you very soon.